Welcome to the Unbridictable podcast because sometimes life is unpredictable. I'm Bree, and thank you so much for checking out my humble channel and this first ever episode. Woo! I'm Bree, and this is gonna be more like an introductory episode. I'll introduce myself, and then this podcast I am imagining to be sort of like a journal, an online journal, if you will. But I get to talk about what's going on in my life to some wonderful folks online. And as I talk about different things that pop up in my life, if there's anything that I say that resonates with you or you experience something similar, I'd love to have a conversation about it in the comments below. I just ask that you all are respectful to each other and to me in the comments. So, without further ado, let's get started. I am a graduate student studying speech language pathology. I am almost done with my degree, so woo for that. So, speech pathology, for those of you who don't know, I like to tell people it's a field where we help individuals better be able to communicate and swallow. That is a very brief, broad description. If anyone's ever curious to hear more about the field, I am always open to having that discussion. Or since this is just a journal, my online journal in a sense, you'll just probably naturally get to learn more about the field over time. Excuse me. So yeah, that's at least what I do for fun. I love going on walks. I love spending quality time with some family and friends. I love going to theme parks. I love watching YouTubers play video games online. I also love playing games every once in a while. I have a Wii that I like playing with friends or even sometimes by myself, like Super Mario Galaxy. That's a good solo game. Um, yeah, I would love to hear some of y'all's hobbies in the comments below. Those are just a few. As time goes on, I might mention or go into depth about some of those hobbies, but now I'll segue into my thought of the week, which is where the heck am I gonna be in a year? And I feel like I just need to. I always try to balance between like worrying about the now. Like, for example, to graduate with my master's degree, we have to do what's called the comps, and it's like basically an oral exam. We're presented a case. Billy Bob had a stroke. This is what happened to the speech and the swallowing. What do you think? What would you do treatment wise? Blah blah. I mean, that's very loosely. Really, I should be. I mean, I have been thinking about that, studying for that, prepping for that. But then also, I'm like thinking about where do I want to move in a year? Do I want to stay? I'm currently in the state of Florida. Do I want to move? I'm leaning more towards moving to somewhere a bit more north. Like Florida is like one of the most, yeah, along with Texas, I think. I'm not entirely sure. But I said a lot. Point being, most states in the United States go more north. And I would love to see what it's like to live in a different state personally, just because I've been here for like 20 some odd years. Um, I think I would like to move somewhere with like mountains. I feel like that sounds really cool. The few times that I've like traveled to places with mountains, I really enjoyed going on hikes. I feel like that would be, um, I think I mentioned one of my hobbies is, one second, there you go. One of my hobbies is going out for walks. I especially love going for walks outside, and just breathing in that fresh air, crisp air, just does something to me, revitalizes me personally. I especially love it in the fall time where the trees all change colors and it makes like this pretty scenery. Oh, I want to go so bad. I visited one of my friends last year who lives in a state north of Florida. A bit north. Yeah. um and I just loved hiking with her in the fall colors. So I'll probably do that again this year. Maybe I'll do a vlog style instead of a podcast. I don't know. We'll see. Because life is unpredictable. Okay. But yeah, I feel like recently I've just found myself really like tired, especially of like the Florida heat. I know other places north of Florida also get like hot during like summertime, but from what I've heard from like my other friends, like from undergrad that's moved more north, or even high school friends that's lived in states more north than Florida, it at least gets cooler quicker. But see, here's the problem. It's like I'm tired of the heat, but it's like because I'm so used to the heat, I don't think I can handle anywhere that can be like cold, if that makes any sense. Like I don't know if I can move as far north as like Maine or something. Like I whatever states are notorious for like having full on excuse me, full on blizzards, you know. So I'm trying to think about places where it's not going to be perfect, of course, but somewhere that's at least a bit more balanced. Like I feel like right now Florida is like too hot all the time, if that makes sense. Like if you're from Florida or if you even ever visited Florida, have family in Florida, you would know that like the seasons of Florida is like, oh, sorry about that loud beep. I'm in a study room right now, because this is the most affordable studio I could get. Eh. But yeah, anyway, Florida seasons is like hot, cold, and then back to hot. And that's it. Like I would at least love for it to be like hot, cool, freezing, coolish slash warmish, back to hot, if that makes any sense. So, like, more balance would be nice, in my opinion. I guess that's what I'm looking for, just balance. Because in other future episodes, I'll probably go over some of the things I just thought of now, but there's been other things that's happened that I feel like life hasn't always, I mean, not that life is always going to be balanced all the time. I feel like that's another good reason why I'm doing this, is just to remind myself that like when life is not unbalanced, like it's you know, you'll get through it. Jeez. Well, actually, I just remembered one of the classes I have. Um, it started out as like a class where we talk about clinician skills, like how to manage your time, how to do documentation, blah, blah, blah. But now that we're close to graduating soon, now it's been more like, what's your next step to like taking care of yourself and making sure that you have good job experiences in the future. And work-life balance was something that there's a good TED Talk. I don't know if any of y'all have seen it. Maybe I'll put the link to the TED Talk in the description below. But I feel like rather than life balance, I need to remind myself of that TED Talk video where we're so focused on trying to do. I mean, he explains it better. So, if you want a more in-depth explanation, look at the video below. But we're also focused on like trying to balance life like this, where instead of just trying to do it like a scale, I have to do a better job at accepting life as like one big sphere full of like the good things in life and the bad things in life, if that makes any sense. It's a good reminder. So I guess in a sense, I am trying to find a place where I feel like I can better do life in the big roll with life in a big sphere. It makes more sense what I mean by sphere when you watch the TED Talk. Watch this video first. I probably should have said that first. You know what? If you clicked on this video and you gained some of that, some good knowledge from that TED Talk, then that's great. That's fantastic. But yeah, that was a long way of me trying to explain why I want to move to somewhere with mountains and with at least less heat, more seasons, you know. I feel like I would enjoy that a lot more. And yeah, I think also when I do my research, I just need to see where is more affordable to live, because I feel like the cost of like rent even alone, which can be another podcast episode within itself, goes up. But I'm sort of playing this podcast by ear. I don't know if I want to make this super long or super short, or if there's any rules to how long a podcast should be in order for it to be considered a podcast. I feel like a podcast is supposed to be like 1 hour. Is there such a thing as a mini podcast? You know what? I'll Google it in front of camera. Why the heck not? Okay, so I guess there's no, you know what? But like, I guess there's no rules to conform to. I think this is good for at least my first episode. I don't know if I'll keep this longer, shorter, the same, because life is unpredictable. So, I might have more things to talk about depending on what happens in life. But I appreciate you checking this out. Leave a comment below. What's your Did I already? I think I already asked what's your favorite season, did I? We'll see when I edit this. All right. It's so funny because I thought of like a good hook line, but I didn't think about a good outro line. But yeah. Let me think. I can just do something as simple as thank you for tuning in to my first episode, because sometimes life is unpredictable. See you next time.